Good morning, Keller class. And Thursday's English is another story from The Whistling Monster. Thank you for all your ideas of which story you'd like to listen to next. The one we're going to listen to today, or part listen to, is called The Paradise City. Okay, and it's a story from Morocco. I'm going to listen, and then when I stop, you're going to do some describing. You're going to write a piece of description for me. That's today's English. The Paradise City. There was once a king who ruled over a vast and prosperous land. Not only was he wealthy beyond compare, but he had a beautiful wife, two noble sons, and a glorious palace with courtyards and gardens that were the finest in the Arab world. Look at this beautiful palace with the courtyard and gardens. How beautiful is that? I'd love to visit there. Look, this is the way that you go in, and these are all the courtyards. And inside the courtyard is the palace. It's got a beautiful domed roof as well. It was the finest in the Arab world, but the king was not satisfied. He was sure he could have something better. He questioned scholars and wise men. He pored over manuscripts and books. He asked every visitor who passed through his city if they had seen a better kingdom than his. No, my lord, they invariably replied. We have seen nothing to compare to this. Then one day the king came across a huge dusty book lying in a corner of the library. He opened the book and began to read. He read about a place called Paradise. Nowhere was more beautiful than Paradise. Nowhere it was more beautiful than anything on earth, and it was where the good people went after death. The more he read, the more he tried to picture what Paradise was like. Surely the palaces in Paradise would be built from silver and gold with diamond-studded courtyards. The gardens would be running with cool streams, shaded by rare trees and nodding with sweet-smelling flowers. Surely nowhere on earth would be happier and more tranquil. He was determined he would build such a place. He would create paradise on earth. The king summoned his courtiers and noblemen, his architects and crafters, and ordered them to build him a city full of shimmering palaces and glorious courtyards. Okay, I'm going to stop reading there. And what I'd like you to do today is to draw a picture of this beautiful palace that the king wants to create. What does it look like? Once you've drawn it and it's in your imagination, I would like you to describe the palace. So I've put a to-do onto purple mash. Let me just show you. Okay, so we are on the to write. We've used quite a lot, and it's a good way for you to record your writing so I can read it and then I can mark it as well. Okay, so what I'd like you to do is to like I say, once you've drawn your palace, okay, I'd like you to describe it. So you could draw it on a piece of paper and you can send me a photo on Dojo. I'd love to see some of them. Or you can just describe it. So draw it, so you've got it in your head. What's it made out of? How big is it? Are the gardens, what are they like? What's special about it? In my head, I imagine something which is made out of beautiful materials. So a palace made out of things like gold and silver with jewels everywhere. The floors might be made out of best marble. The gardens will have the most beautiful trees with maybe exotic birds like hummingbirds or parrots flying backwards and forwards, and everyone in the land would want to come and visit. So I'm going to start describing the palace that's in my head. going to call it the Paradise Palace. The Paradise Palace was, I want to think of a word which means the same as fantastic. Okay, so the Paradise Palace was absolutely incredible. I think that's good. Nowhere. There was no other palace like it on earth. Hayward, capital letters. There The floors were made from the finest white marble, and marble is a type of stone. It's actually created when volcanoes erupt, and when the lava and the rock cools, sometimes it cools into a stone called marble. So you can find marble where there have been old volcanoes. Lots of marble come from countries like Italy, where there used to be lots of volcanoes. There still are one or two. So the floors were made from the finest white marble, which reflected the sunlight. So if something reflects, you think of a mirror, so it's very shiny, reflected the sunlight. Oops, I've got myself in the way again. Let me move myself. The walls were made from panels. That's like pieces, panels. Oops, panels of pure gold and decorated with beautiful rubies, diamonds, and think of another precious stone. Green one is emerald, a blue one is sapphires. So I think we'll have sapphires. Beautiful rubies, diamonds, and sapphires. It's so amazing. I'm going to put an exclamation mark. Okay. I'm going to go on to continue to describe my amazing palace. So I've done a little bit about the walls inside. I've done about the floors. I might talk about furniture being ancient antique furniture, chairs draped with velvet. I'm going to talk about the ceilings. What are they like? The roof, the doors and the handles on the doors, possibly made out of gold. I might even have inside my palace a pool with beautiful fish, or a swimming pool maybe, or something really amazing inside. Outside I'm going to have a garden with amazing animals, trees, flowers. So I've got quite a lot of description still to do. Okay, so I'm going to leave you to do that. I'm looking forward to reading these amazing descriptions. Make sure you describe the whole palace, please. I don't want 2 or 3 sentences and then I've finished. This is going to take you quite a long time to do. If we were in school, this would take you a whole lesson to do. So that's what I want you to do this morning, at least 45 minutes of writing. Okay, so I don't want messages after 10 minutes to say I've finished, because you won't have finished. Okay, if you want, you can add some pictures of things that might be in the garden. So if you click onto here, there's some creatures that might be in the garden of the palace. Okay, so you could add those as well. All right then, I'm looking forward to reading about these palaces. See you later, everybody.